Oh, wow. So, Olubukola, we've been speaking about Creatrhub. I'd like for us to have your co-founder on board to talk about the journey of this solution that you've created. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome. I call him different titles, but I'm just going to call him Prince. The Prince Will, the Prince of Ireland. How
Hey
are you,
everyone,
sir?
I'm good. Lovely to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, wow, wow. So Olubukola has actually said a lot of great stuff about you, but why did you decide to jump on board the Creator Hub uh, journey?
Interesting question. I have answered these questions loads of times, and I think I give different variations to it, right? But I think for the sake of this interaction, I might try and go a little bit in depth. Um, I think I'll talk about myself before jumping into Creative as well. I think I don't like seeing people in pain in general. I try
Mm,
to want to solve everybody's problem if I can, solve mine, solve theirs. If there is a lack, I want to insert myself to see how I can help. Might not be able to help you 100%, but at least set you in the right direction to go. So Olubukola obviously is a creator and has been having the pain point of trying to find businesses to work with, especially in Ireland. And from a pain point of you take a lot of time to find the business to work with, then that is a free collaboration, not the paid one. So that's another pain point as well. Second thing is paid collaboration, but the cost, the money is too small. A third thing could be it's a paid collaboration and the percentage of fees being taken from PayPal or whatever platform the brands or businesses are using is a lot as well. So many problems as well. Also, a disjointed um, problem when it comes to centralized system for user-generated content creators in Europe. Um, a disjointed system for getting the jobs, a decentralized system for working with agencies. So many issues going on with that with user generated content community. I have a background. I have a technical background. So I have been in my 9 to 5. Typically, I would be probably looking for ways to bring data together in a centralized system, giving a holistic view of how to see things, right, and how to get metrics to leadership if needed to make business decision. So again, back to my background of trying to solve everybody's problem. I'm like, you know what? Why don't you build something and let's see how it goes. So we talked about that for this was 2024. We talked about that throughout first half of
December
2024.
2025, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but even before December, wanted to work on Creator Hub. Where I started looking at the name, I started looking at all the wrong things, right? Looking at the name, okay, this is quite exciting. But we never got to it. I spoke to a couple of friends that I wanted to do this because again, maybe I didn't like working 9 to 5 at the time, maybe due to burnout, and I wanted something exciting, and I found it. So I spoke to a few of my friends, someone who knew Python but wasn't a Python developer to understand what's going on. But it seems like most of the people around me were still on their 9 to 5 rat race, and maybe we're not thinking in that direction. So that was a pain. Then where we live as well, we had a couple who were, and I hope maybe they'll see this as well, a couple who one was a mobile developer and the wife was a software tester. So I was like, telling Olubukola, good, let's go pitch to them and see what they can do for us. Again, I don't think I understood the scale of what Creator Hub could be.
Mm,
Nowadays, in the process of building, I'm understanding that where you start from is not where you finish, and there's loads of
Moving
yes,
parts.
and iterations at the end of the day, and loads of because I had to in this process get a new Instagram that's just for business completely, just to understand how business works. My wife wants me to
mhm.
read books, but I don't like reading books. I'm a visual person, so I like watching videos and stuff. So I had a new Instagram that was just clearly on all things entrepreneurs, all things having products, businesses, and all of that. So I started learning and understanding. And the most common thing they all talk about is just start. And from there, eventually, it will open more doors of iteration. So The couple, we pitched to them, but again, everybody is at different stages in life when you want to do stuff or do things. So
Mm-hmm.
that didn't fly. So this was around probably March, April 2024. Up until again towards the end of 2024, around November, then I was like, okay, cool, it's time to pick this up again. So I reached out to a friend of mine. So I tend to know people, so I tend to ask people how to proceed. So one of my friend's younger brother, who is a junior developer, I said, okay, this is what I want to do. How do we do this? We bought a domain from GoDaddy. Um, then we're like, oh, maybe you can use another situation, use another platform, that kind of thing. So things were already going wrong from the very beginning, right? So yeah, so it got to a point where he now said, "Okay, I need you to get me a designer who will build and design the prototype that I can develop." Cool, that makes sense. So that moves to my wife's cousin, and Toby, excellent guy as well, helped us put structure on what kind of is Creatrhub right now. Um, Spoke to him. He said um, he gave us, I think, a designer. He gave us a product person as well, and he gave us a project manager and gave us two developers. So we started that. So while trying to build Creator Hub, we started understanding what's going on. He provided a lot of insight into you want to keep people in the community. So the definition of the prototype of Creator Hub is have a way of catering to the UGC community in Europe in general. We wanted the world, but we know there's a market for everybody, but we knew the American market was very saturated, which was the reason why I wanted to build this for Europe, because Bukola from Europe couldn't get businesses or brands to work with her from the States, maybe due to shipping the product. If it was a software product, it made sense. You could go to the App Store and you could get it done. But if it was a physical product that didn't ship to you, that was a problem. And they probably didn't want to work with logistic issues outside of the United States. So it made sense that they had their own community who were trying to have their own community. Then before that, there was buzz about TikTok Shop, right? But TikTok Shop was in the UK, which angered us more because Ireland seemed to be the one to get the last of everything. And I was like, no, that doesn't make sense to me, right? The Irish economy is growing. We could tap into that as well, and from there tap into Europe. And yes, Ireland, they do care about businesses as well, right? So we try to go through that route. Um, Obviously we're bootstrapping. There was no money on board, so we had to find a way to make things work with our designer. So holistically, the aim of CreatorHub was to get an application that caters to a community, right, for UGC creators. I kind of want to mirror everything LinkedIn does, because you can connect to professionals, you can find jobs, you can get business opportunities, you can get referrals and everything else. So what better way to mirror than mirror something that already works and try and put that in a niche that is UGC, right? So from there, we had a design. Um, I wanted to mirror the entire life cycle of UGC, right? We all know the minimum viable
Mm,
product, you need maybe one features to get it done. But this was not just an industry that is starting, it's already an industry that's already there. We've seen
mm-hmm.
other products that are not finding exactly what CreatorHub could be. So it wasn't a situation where the MVP was going to be small, which why I didn't want to call it an MVP, but it's still your first iteration, your version one. So it is what it is, regardless of how many features we had. Now the features we had,
Pretty
a lot of
much.
people were telling me that they were too much. Yeah, but the features were very important to the entire user life cycle. They couldn't be disconnected. There couldn't be a situation where you wanted a contract part and not have an invoice part now. An invoice part comes
Mm-hmm.
later. That couldn't work. So the the project was quite interesting because the entire life cycle had to be built in one, which was the MVP. So because of that, it was loads of features and loads of people telling me, including Olubukola, this is too much. You keep iterating. I'm like, if I understand your problem correctly, which is the entire user life cycle, then all of this needs to be there. Not in
Mm,
the greatest way in terms of design, but in terms of functionality, which at the very core, that is what Creator can be, and we trade from there. So I sat down with Bukola and told me she explained the UGC life cycle from beginning to the end. what step do you need to take, what who does this, when does the creator do something, when does the business do something, when are the content exchange. As a creator, you are trying to solve things for the creator point of view. You want the fact that we can put that money in escrow, and you want creators to be able to see that money in their wallet, even if they can't access it, at least to know that they'll get paid. And you want a situation where they can get paid quickly. You don't want a situation where the fees are too much. You want businesses to be happy, where instead of sporading up and down, finding agencies and finding different people to get them talent, you can just walk into Creator Hub. You can put a job out there and let people know they can apply. We try to make that better because you don't want it to be a proper job interview, right? So put a video resume, talk about yourself and why you think you're the best person for the job, and put your portfolio out there. And again, you try to convince people why you think you're a best fit, because it's both ways, right? So situations like that, we're trying to look out for how to solve the problem for both businesses and for both creators. So I think that is the main point of how I jumped into Creator Hub.
Well, interesting. So, what I love very much about Creator Hub, and of course, the expose that you've given us is the positioning. You're different from the competitors. You actually incorporate the whole life cycle of UGC into your platform, right? But you would agree with me that it is very difficult, would I say, balancing trust and efficiency in business, right? Because in order to achieve trust, sometimes you need to have certain bureaucratic processes, right? So, like, how are you guys going to balance efficiency and trust, building trust with this platform?
I think that's a very good question. I'm happy you use the word trust. I have 6 years of background in Amazon, and the first leadership principle that you learn is customer trust, right? For
Mhm.
example, when I used to work as a customer support and cloud engineer, when the customer comes to you with their problem, right, and it's a issue of their production servers are down and they're losing money, that kind of situation, your aim of being efficient can lead to trust, right? For
Mhm.
example, you can calm them down. You can get on a if it was a chat, you can get on a call quickly to be more efficient. You can get on a screen share. You can do things within how you work, your ways of working, to make sure that you're efficient and solve their issues, which brings trust, right? For example, you could say, "Hey, I'm going to take a look at this. Give me a sec. I'll come back to you," and not just run and not come back. Or you can say you're going to follow up, and you do follow up. You don't just discard. So your way of working, which brings efficiency, will lead to trust. To mirror that to Creator Hub, the aim is to make sure that, and I'm a sucker for details, very detail oriented. I want things to work a certain way. Obviously, I'm always ready to pivot when I think it's time to pivot. And the aim for efficiency and trust for creator is two things, right? Or two ways from both the creators and both the businesses. Once you have the escrow payment, for me, which is one of the biggest way of trust, is to say, hey, we are going to be mediators between both, bridge the gap between both creators and both businesses. Hey, business, you can pay us the money, you don't need to pay the creator the money, right? Once you can agree there's quality of work both ways, you can release that money and it goes to them. And if there's an issue, we can arbitrate on your behalf. And arbitration can be a situation where the brands the creator didn't meet the deadlines on time. The brand pushed the deadline forward and they give the creator time to create the content, or asking for too many iterations and taking advantage, right? So solving that problem brings of it in an efficient way can lead to trust. On that situation of balancing efficiency and trust in creator hub is a situation where we've introduced collaboration at every point in the UGC life cycle. There is a place where a chat system that, for example, is when you've been offered a job by a business, you can say, "Hey, this doesn't work for me. How can we do that?" Instead of having to find ways of reaching out to them, emailing, you can use that chat system and send it to them. That brings collaboration, that brings efficiency, that leads to trust. You can have that aspect in the offer page, and you can have that aspect also in the contract page, which are very important, right? You also will have the ability to have a calendar management system that can probably be available throughout the entire life cycle of that job in Creator Hub, where you can schedule a meeting with the business as well to get clarity. All of these simple features that lead to efficiency of getting the job done between both parties definitely can lead to trust. It's not even a situation of the aim of trust on Creator Hub is not for us as founders, but for the system itself. People trusting the system to do the work efficiently for both between the brands and the creators without us having to interfere. Right. So the system of Creator Hub is built on trust, and hopefully the features that are efficient enough can lead to the trust that we're talking about.
Interesting stuff. There was a millionaire on this podcast that told me something. He says the difference between successful people and not so successful people is the time between idea and execution. And when I look into my screen, I see Olubukola as the idea, I see you as the executor. So, how are you guys able to balance that time span between idea and execution? And yeah, definitely there
I
will be
want to take this
clashes.
one.
There will be clashes between idea and execution.
Reason
You got that right.
I think I want to take this one because it's something to today we're currently struggling with. I'm a passionate, very creative person, so I see things from the creative side, and he sees things from the business logical side. So when I'm like, oh babe, okay, for example, the landing page, oh let's change this, let's change that, you'll be like, leave the landing page for now. Functionality. Let's focus on the web app. Okay, what are the bugs? What do we need to fix?
It's true because sorry to cut short. I'm not saying so I take information from so many places, right? I'm taking information
Hmm.
from Y Combinator, from YC, from different YC founders, from my I call it my school of Instagram, which my Instagram page of just loads of businesses and a general page. And at the very beginning, it's about getting your product out there to solve the issue, right? But at the very beginning, I will admit to Bukola that I was very let's get the core thing, which is important as well. But because this is a creative space as well, we want to be
Hmm.
careful. And I'm starting to understand that now that you need to do certain things in the landing page, for example, to show your story because you are a creative
Hmm.
space. You don't want your landing page to be so serious that it doesn't reflect exactly who you are. So I understand that. Yeah, go ahead.
So back to idea.
Cool.
So like
To add to
but let's give it back to the
yeah,
idea,
to
right? So
add
like what are the clashes between idea and execution?
Um, I think there's so many. I would say because I'm always thinking about the customers. I'm very customer oriented. Very. I'm thinking about the problem and the solution we're doing to solve the specific problem, right?
Hmm.
So most of the times I try to avoid distractions where, oh, we need to do that. I'm like, how does it help the customer? Have the customer actually asked for that? You do not want to build something or ship a feature that doesn't help them and becomes useless and you've wasted time, money, and resources, right? So I would say, Bookie, the core obviously issue and problem that Creator is trying to solve was some Bookie's problem. But I would kind of say I'm the ideal person because at a random time at night, I ask random questions around 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? This will
he
help this will help
is
that.
constantly thinking of new ideas, new ways we can solve the problem. And I keep telling him, we're also husband and wife. Like, so this time frame, I want to set boundaries. Let's not talk business. Let's just be husband and wife. But then he'll be like, no, 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 we're building our first baby. It has to be like this. We have to talk about it all the time. And I'm like, okay.
No, I agree because and I still maintain that to now because it's a startup, right? Again, like I said,
Hmm.
I've been starting myself in that startup mode. I've consumed a lot of information to understand what what this entails, right? And I try to put myself, I try to live it. And I can't remember his name, the former CEO of Y Combinator that created Twitch, that sold it. He will always say, um, a startup is a situation where you quit a job for 1 year, you eat ramen for 1 year, and you stay in one. You kill yourself basically, right? You deny yourself, and if you are really serious about your startup, you have to do that because you have to
Mm-hmm.
devote your all into that to make that happen. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of because I'm thinking of the problem, right? And because, like I said, one of the problems we're trying to solve is the decentralization of UGC in general. Yes, we still agree there'll be platforms like Twitter and or X where a lot of creators will go to find jobs or people take advantage to find people, which is disjointed. And it irks me because I'm like, how can we find a way to get these people to Creator Hub where this way they are communicating, they can communicate on our feeds page, they can meet people who are clearly UGC creators from different parts of the world, right? That can solve their problems, get the businesses there as well, have a peak based on the advanced features and filters we have to pick creators from different countries and different skill sets and different experiences and different niches, right, to get your job done. So I'm always constantly thinking about that. I'm thinking about next step. Oh, how can we introduce artificial intelligence to help maybe businesses get their jobs or get more talent for their jobs quickly or in a quick and efficient manner? How can we make sure that we could give creators the best chance of being able to pitch to businesses and get jobs? Because most of these creators, they do this full time, and which means they live on
Mm-hmm.
this. So we need to put our best foot forward to make sure the platform is good enough to give them the ability to be creative. Because Bukola does TikTok shop as well, and I've seen her do video, and it's actually quite cool, right? It's not maybe not something I'm into, but it's something I understand, right? And and based on that, I can understand where she's coming from in terms of when she has different ideas on how I want to take those ideas and use them from Creator Hub. I don't know if that helps as a big struggle we still have to today.
Let me
And
also add
that,
this.
that I totally understand.
In terms of idea, in terms of ideas, a very good example is when we're building Create Hub. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be, an app and everything, something you can just pick your phone, like maybe an Instagram or something. It was like, no, this is a SaaS product. This has to be structured. I was like, babe, you're creating a boring
Yeah, I
product.
remember that.
Like, it's boring. It needs to be fun. It's like, think of LinkedIn. Think of LinkedIn. So, and now I actually love the product because it does solve the problem and it kind of bridges the gap and kind of centralizes the whole UGC cycle, and it makes it so fun because at the end of the day, my branding came into play. So that's like the fun bit of it. And then we kind of, complement each other in the processes as well.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
But
Yeah, you need
interesting
structure. You
stuff.
need processes to be successful.
Interesting stuff. Sometimes I find myself conflicted, like feeling like, oh, maybe I'm like a hybrid of the two of you because I'm a content creator, right? However, like I have a corporate background, I have a technical background, finance, tech, and like meeting a person like Olubukola, like she had to start pushing the creative side of me more. Like say so for example, like AI, this your graphic is rubbish. And what makes it interesting is, somebody telling you very calmly. But in my head, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, do you think
ah,
about the structure of the content? Did you
I
think
get that.
about the message? I'm more concerned about the message than the cover, right? Because, for a person who would I say gives more
Yeah,
premium to structure, they feel like, okay, ensure that the core is actually functional. You get it? Because when you actually place premium on function, you can actually change the aesthetics later. But if the core function is actually compromised, it's just like what the Bible says: if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? But over time in business, you discover that you need to balance. You actually need to balance both worlds, right? But I'll put the two of you on the spot right now. And of course, I know that you guys are very busy and we need to go pretty soon, right? So we have business and creators. That is brands and creators, and that is what you guys do, right? So I'll let Buki take the part of convincing the creators, and I'll let Prince will take the part of convincing the brands. So if you had just 120 seconds to give a pitch right now to the people listening to this podcast today, right? Buki, what are you going to tell the creators, right, to convince them to use Creator Hub? Why Creator Hub? Why are you different from the others?
All right. So talking from a creator perspective, because I myself am a creator to this date, I didn't, give up on being a creator. I would say this: it really helps you streamline the process. It makes it easy for negotiations because we have a negotiation chat box, and it makes it easy for you to live your life. Creator Hub is an all-in-one marketplace platforms that caters to the entire life cycle of a UGC project. So we're talking from discovery, the brand's discovering you. We're talking delivering the content, negotiation, contract, invoicing, literally everything. You don't need like seven apps to use Creator Hub. All you need is that one app, Creator Hub, that one web app, that one page, that one software, and your life is easier. And think of when all those admin is gone, all that time that is left, how you can use it to get more jobs, make more videos, and even go ahead and 10x your income.
Oh,
I
wow.
like that.
Thank you very much. Now I feel convinced as a creator, but as a business, Prince, your time starts now. Why should I use Creator Hub? And probably there might be investors,
Um,
watching
who
this
can
as
top up?
well. So why should the investors invest in Creator Hub as well? Maybe you chip that in.
Yeah, big question though. Hopefully I can top up what Bukola said. Um, if you don't have the skill set, right, and you want to advertise, right, distribution is very important. We are actually trying to distribute for Creatrhub, distribution and marketing. If you do not have the skill set and you have social media pages and you want to get your brand out there to millions of people, you need the best people um, who can embody your brand and put your message out there. That's what Creator
Mm,
Hub will do for you as a brand, as a business. If you want a situation where you don't have to deal with agencies or deal with so many people, I'm not coming for the agencies, but you want just a one shop place, right? You can find creators for different countries and different situations. You can negotiate your rates, what you want, and you can pay them off, and you can get your content, and you can put that on your platforms. From an investor point of view, the crypto market is, I think the last I checked, is more than $10 billion market and still growing. And where different aspect of being a creator is coming up, even AI ads as well are coming up as well. Regardless of technology used to be a creator, you need a place to source for these creators. And that is one of the values that Creator Hub will bring for you when you do invest in Creator Hub.
wow, fantastic. I think at this point I'm actually convinced already. So before I let you guys go, I'm going to put you through the Pacific Ring of Fire. That is the quick fire round section. So a very, very big thank you to both of you. I always say this, that when a person shares their time with you, they share their life with you, because the SI unit for measuring life is time. And of course, kudos to you guys for creating an amazing, amazing product. I can very much relate to it. Being a content creator, you are making life easier for millions of people across the world. So kudos to you. So are you ready to rumble? So, number one question, who's going to take this? Okay, anybody can take it. Number one, what is one mistake you would avoid if founding Creator Hub again?
I'll try and get my customers very early. get that that waiting list. Um, we did that as well, but we didn't do it that efficiently. So get that waiting list from both businesses and both creators. Start shouting to the rooftop about your project. Yeah, and the
Wow.
problem is solved. It's very important. Yeah.
Hmm. But does Buki have something to say to that question? Because I thought Prince would say the mistake you'd avoid is arguing with Buki too much on the creative process.
No, it's good. Yes, frustrating, right? But if you don't have someone who can bring you down to earth, I'm a big dreamer. I can dream. If you don't have someone who can bring you down to earth and challenge you, then you will not improve.
No, honestly, let me just quickly add to that. The thing is, the way Prince and I argue, it kind of helps because we find out, okay, it's kind of like proof testing Creator Hub. You challenge me and give me this question or give me this issue, and I'll challenge him back. And then, we rub off and learn from our experiences. In that moment, it might be like, oh, we're in the heat of the argument. But later we go back and we think it through, and then you come to me and I'm like, oh, you were right, though. I shouldn't have done this. And I'll be like, I hardly do, though. But in my mind, I'll be like, oh, Prissy is right. But I hardly do it physically.
Oh, I know I'm right. So
Working on that.
Whoa. Number two question is, what is one metric that you now obsess over? I think Prince Will is the best person for this question.
This one is actually better than
I love the quality of our background and
So, okay, let me see. Okay. So, what is one metric that you obsess over?
That's a good question. Because we're in the process of distribution and marketing, I'll say you said one, but I'll give you two. I think the first one is
Okay.
obviously trying to get people to use Creator Hub. That is the first metric.
Mhm.
So, getting users, which are both businesses and both creators, to use Creator Hub. That's my number one metrics to get their feedback to see, hey, does this actually proper solve your problem? And what is not working? I love that word. What isn't working? What don't you like? I don't want you to feel my ego and tell me this is good. I want you to tell me what's not working. So, first metric is obviously getting people in to test it. Sub of that metric is what you like, what you don't like, to validate to move forward. Then I think the third part sub of that metric is, are the features breaking? Are they helpful to you? Right? Are the aim of how we've done things, right? Does that work for you, or would you like to see things in a different way and for us to implement that?
Okay, what is one task that you would say you delegated too late in terms of operations?
That's a good question. I'll say hiring the right person to do the job. Yes, you might have the skill set to do it, but there's always somebody better than you. So if you
Trade-off.
feel you need to go hire the person to do that skill set, right? Do that job for you, I would say go delegate quickly and do that because it frees you time than struggling to implement it. Get an expert to do it for you. You can get a UGC creator to do it for you through Creator Hub, right? Instead of struggling to do the content yourself, and you can have time to focus on other things as well.
I think the next question would be for Buki. What is one belief about the creator economy that you consider to be untrue? A popular belief about the
Oh
creator
wow,
economy.
that's a deep one.
Well,
I would say the popular belief is a lot of people think what we're doing is a joke. A lot of people don't think this is a source of living. um I have creators that they've told me, not directly but through a live platform, that someone called them out and was like, go get a job. But then what she did was screenshot her earnings and sent it to the person. So that's literally the belief. They think it's not a job, and it was a huge number. It wasn't a small number.
Creators are making more than us.
Yeah.
I think my final question is in one word, and that's for both of you. What do you describe the future of Creator Hub as in one word?
Mind blowing.
Good.
Uh, Prince will always be the Oliver Twist. He chose a compound word, mind and blowing. But it's fine. It's fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Love and respect to you guys. And of course, we'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys soon. And of course, to the audience, always go for something in your lives. Conceive, believe, strive to thrive, and of course, go achieve. God bless, guys.